You're watching Central Florida's CW18.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News on CW18 starts now.
Now at 10, a man dies one day after Orlando police say he refused to drop a gun, so an officer opened fire. Tonight, we're learning this is not his first run-in with police. Plus, a survivor of the New Orleans attack has ties here in Central Florida. We talked with his daughter about his long road to recovery. And the final farewell to former President Jimmy Carter begins. A live look inside the Carter Presidential Center in Atlanta, where he is now lying in repose. First at 10, a warning to bundle up tonight. Maybe grab an extra blanket before going to sleep because it's going to get really cold, you guys. This is a live look at downtown Orlando this evening, where it is now, I'm not sure exactly how cold it is out there, but let's 50 degrees. Let's check in with our first warning meteorologist, Marquise Mita, who has more of the details and how low we're going to go. Marquise.
Luana, 50 and dropping for our northernmost communities. Will drop all the way down into the mid-30s tonight. We're talking about temperatures that are just a hair above the freezing level. And when temperatures fall this low, we want to think about the 3 Ps. Those are pets, plants, and pipes. You want to cover your pipes, move your pets and your plants indoors because it is going to be a very chilly evening, both across I-75 and I-95 for Marion and Flagler counties as temperatures drop under clear skies tonight. Clear skies are a primary component in how cool we're going to feel, but we've also had this consistent breeze from the north so far today. I know wind speeds are calm, but with that northerly flow in the afternoon, it was really tough to warm up. And with these clear skies tonight, we're letting go of the little heat that we accumulated throughout the day. So 41 is where we are. We're likely going to drop down to 34 degrees overnight, but elsewhere in Central Florida, still trending cooler than seasonal averages. We're in the 40s and 50s just after 10 o'clock. And here's what you're waking up to on Sunday morning. 30s and 40s across the board, so it's going to be a very chilly start to your Sunday, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. We've got some Arctic air funneling into Central Florida later in the work week, and I'll take a look at those numbers coming up in the next 15 minutes.
All right, thank you, Marquise. Several counties have opened cold weather shelters for people needing a warm place to stay tonight. In Flagler County, the sheltering tree is open at the Rock Transformation Center, and in Volusia County, there's a shelter open on South Palmetto Avenue at a center called The Bridge. In Brevard County, 2 shelters are open in Titusville, Life Point Ministries, and Cocoa Central Brevard Sharing Center. You can find all of that information on WESH.com. And stay with WESH 2 News for updates on the next cold front approaching as we get through the next few days. You can always find the hourly forecast right now on WESH.com. We're learning more about the man who died after he was shot by an Orlando police officer. That shooting happened yesterday at a gas station on John Young Parkway. As WESH 2's Tony Atkins reports, this wasn't his first dangerous encounter with police. And of course, WESH 2 is staying on top of this story. You can get the latest push alerts with updates to breaking news like this one by downloading the free WESH 2 News mobile app and turning on your notifications. A driver is out on bond tonight accused of fleeing the scene of a deadly crash. Seminole County Sheriff's Office says that a bicyclist was riding his bike in a crosswalk yesterday on Red Bug Lake Road and Creeks Bend Drive. The cyclist was hit by a pickup truck, but the driver never stopped. The victim was taken to ORMC in critical condition. Deputies later found and arrested 28-year-old Kyle Isbicki. The victim of the crash died today. Upgraded charges for Isbicki are now pending. Tonight, an 18-year-old is behind bars in Brevard County accused of shooting a man in an attempted burglary. This happened Thursday in West Melbourne when the victim got a text from a woman, Ajacia Davis, asking him out. The two went out into a bar in Cocoa, then drove to an apartment complex in West Melbourne. When they parked, the victim says that he saw Davis text someone, and then moments later, police say that a man opened the car door and shot the victim's leg. The victim pulled out his gun and shot at the suspect and drove off, but police say that 2 men then chased after the victim and shot at his car. Officers arrested this man, Corbin Williams, for that shooting. He is now facing attempted murder and armed burglary charges. President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are set to visit New Orleans on Monday, just days after a deadly New Year's Eve terror attack. 14 people died when a man drove his truck into a crowd. Dozens more were hurt in that attack, including 2 police officers hospitalized after a shootout. Louisiana's governor has declared a mourning period set to begin on Monday. Each of the 14 victims will have their own day of remembrance. Well, one of the survivors in the New Orleans terror attack is a father who was heading to Central Florida for the winter. WESH 2's Tonight Gabriel spoke with the victim's family and his long road to recovery. Well, the family has set up a GoFundMe to help cover medical costs. Fortunately, they expect a new wheelchair to be waiting for Jeremy when he makes it to Florida. The state funeral for former President Jimmy Carter started today in Georgia. A motorcade procession carrying the president's body arrived in Atlanta. Tonight, the former president is lying in repose at the Carter Presidential Center. This is a live look inside of the center this evening. We've been seeing people come and go throughout the evening. Jane Robello with our sister station in Atlanta tonight talked with people as they paid their respects. Still ahead, no more recycling pickup out in Winter Garden, where people will need to take their paper and their plastic from here on out if they want to save the environment. And a violent case of road rage recorded on someone's cell phone. Tonight, the victim explains what happened after she rear-ended the driver in front of her. And 2025 just might be the year to buy a home. A financial expert explains what you can do now to get your bank accounts in order. We'll be right back.
What kind of future do you want? You have something worth fighting for.
Failure is not an option. Anyone? Just a second, Bradley. Anyone?
On this field, winners are born.
Hold on to your butts. I know who did it.
I know why.
My thing's bigger.
Shut up.
Settle up, partner.
Here goes nothing.
Get your game on.
Thanks for coming after me.
We look forward to our very bright future.
Welcome back tonight. If 2025 is your year to buy a home, then now is the time to start preparing your finances so you can make a competitive offer immediately. In tonight's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan explains what buyers need to know. Well, the city of Winter Garden has ended their curbside recycling collection. This was the last week for recycling pickup. City commissioners cut the service because of costs. From now on, residents will have to drop off their recycling waste at county drop-off sites. At the Orange County landfill, the Porter Transfer Station or McLeod Transfer Station is a site that you can go to. And there's also a private company recycling site in Winter Garden called AMT Recycling. All right, this just into the WESH 2 newsroom. President Joe Biden has now signed into law a measure to make Jackie Robinson Ballpark in Daytona Beach a national commemorative site. This will honor the location where Robinson broke the color barrier and played his first professional game. Very nice. Developing news in Washington tonight, the Justice Department is urging the Supreme Court to reject President-elect Donald Trump's request to pause a TikTok ban. In a legal filing on Friday, the DOJ said the law to ban TikTok does not violate First Amendment rights or free speech. TikTok's Chinese parent company has until January 19th to sell the social media platform or face a ban in the United States. Let's talk about what's going on weather-wise. We've been talking about breaking out those blankets, coats, and everything else out there because the temperatures are going to drop tonight, and it looks like it's going to get pretty bad over the next few days.
Yes, unfortunately, it's only going to get worse. So you talked about the jacket, the blanket, I'm saying a hat, jacket,
those little,
scarf, the earmuffs.
Yeah, with the little ears on the side, like the hoodies with the little earpieces.
I feel like my ears get cold like they're freezing every time it gets cold here in Florida. I don't know if it's like a different type of cold.
You're just not used to it anymore.
That's what it is. I've acclimated, right? But we do have a work week plunge heading our direction. We will be cool tonight, but these temperatures during the work week, it's going to be one of the coldest stretches that we've actually seen in quite a while here in Florida. You have to go back a few years, and this is what we're going to be waking up to if you are in Ocala. 30-degree temperatures on Wednesday and Thursday, and even on Friday, you're still at the freezing level. So we are near tying records almost every single day. I think Friday gives us the best opportunity to tie a record, but man, it is going to be a cold finish to your work week, still hovering right around the freezing level with 32-degree overnight lows. And guess what? We're back in the 30s already tonight, and the clock has not even struck midnight quite yet. 39 in Ocala and Palm Coast. We do have the frost advisories issued for both Marion and Flagler counties. But even elsewhere, as you take a trip down I-95, you're still considerably cold in Daytona, New Smyrna Beach, with your temperatures already back in the low 40s. Right here in the metro, we hover around the upper 40s and lower 50s with calm wind speeds throughout the day, though it's been a northerly breeze keeping you cool. And these clear skies are adding insult to injury as we'll drop down into the lower 40s. In Orange County tonight, right here in Orlando, 44, 43 degrees. Lots of sunshine. That's going to be back early on tomorrow, courtesy of high pressure. But it's going to be deceptive sunshine, as tomorrow is going to be a cool finish to your weekend coming up. 34 is what you're waking up to in Ocala, Lynn, also Salt Springs, Reddick, 35 degrees early out the door tomorrow morning. As we take you county by county, you're still hanging around the 30s. In Sumter County, the Village is 39, Lake Panasoffkee 39 as well. Along the coast, we're seeing some 50s on the board, but we're considerably cooler than our seasonal average. Even in Cocoa, 53 degrees, Satellite Beach 55, and as we head further north, temperatures are even cooler for Daytona and New Smyrna. 41 is what you're waking up to tomorrow in Daytona. DeLand, 39 degrees. So we're dropping tonight, and we'll drop even further over the course of the work week. Here's the culprit right here. You see this area of low pressure. It's pulling in the continental, Arctic, and polar air. We see this area of low pressure now moving out of the Rockies across the Great Plains as we speak, and it will be driving this cold front all across the southeast, in which we'll see rain showers, record-setting cold temperatures, and a lot of snow up north. Here's what it's going to do for your forecast in Central Florida. It'll drop your highs from 77, a nice comfortable Monday afternoon, down to 55 degrees on Tuesday. For tomorrow, though, you'll wrap up the weekend anywhere between 58 and 73 degrees. But here's what's coming your way throughout the work week. Slight chance for showers Monday, much cooler air Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which is why we're designated the end of the work week as impact weather days, as you'll wake up to temperatures in the 30s and 40s across Central Florida. Here's your 3-day stretch in Orlando. 55 Tuesday, 59 Wednesday, 57 Thursday. This is a stretch of weather where temperatures are under the 60s for 3 consecutive days that we haven't seen since 2018. So we have to dial the calendar back pretty far, and we show you why. It's because we do have impact weather days on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with overnight lows in the upper 30s, so you need to bundle up here in Central Florida.
All right, U-Haul has been tracking where people are moving through one-way bookings, and it should come as no surprise that some of the fastest growing areas are right here in Central Florida. Take a look at this. We're looking at Ocala. They are ranking #1 right now for growing cities outside of a major metro area. Kissimmee came in not far behind that number, just behind Fredericksburg, Virginia. And the reason for all of this, U-Haul officials say that there are several reasons why people are moving right here to Central Florida. The cost of living there is lower than other parts of the state, and they say that Ocala recently added many manufacturing and healthcare jobs. Also, the Equestrian Center draws more horse lovers to the area. Coming up next, don't be fooled when it warms up tomorrow afternoon. Our first warning weather team is timing out another cold front that's on the way. And a warning to all airlines tonight. JetBlue made the example of what happens when too many flights are delayed. The data federal officials have used to justify a hefty fine.
What do you want to watch?
Big Bang.
It's one of my all-time favorites.
Sounds like a party.
Bang, bang. The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, yeah, this is it.
Weeknights at 7, only on CW18.
What kind of future do you want? I want to help you achieve things you haven't even considered or even possibilities.
Settle up, partner. Failure is not an option. Anyone? Just a second, Bradley. Anyone?
One day, I will prove myself worthy.
You could prove yourself now.
Life's got a way of showing you what your next move's gonna be, as long as you're open to seeing it.
On this field, winners are born.
Hold on to your butts.
I know who did it.
I know why.
My thing's bigger.
Shut up. No, it isn't. We just need one little thing.
I'm afraid to ask, but what's that?
Here goes nothing.
That is sensational.
You have such a heart for people. Get your game on.
Welcome to Scrabble.
Whatever the next move is, we'll have an impact together.
There's always something new out there.
Thanks for coming after me.
We look forward to our very bright future.
Tuesday, NXT is reaching new heights. I cannot
cannot believe what we're about to witness.
There's nothing like NXT on the CW.
Attitude, aggression, that's super hot right there.
The WWE Universe is witnessing greatness before their eyes.
I'm talking about history.
The moment is right here. It's right now. Welcome to NXT.
Tuesday starting at 8 on CW18. Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News on CW18 starts now.
All right, the time right now is 10:30. We're taking you on a live look outside at Ocala out in Marion County tonight, where temperatures could dip into the 30s, something we're just not quite completely used to and comfortable with here in Central Florida. We do know and anticipate colder temperatures this time of year, and now's that time.
Unfortunately, that's the case,
It
right?
has arrived.
We swung into a brand new year with near record-setting overnight lows in the forecast for us. So no matter where you go, you'll see those temperatures drop into the 30s at some point in time during the upcoming work week. But we'll take you out to Lake Eola right now. A pretty picture, but it is pretty cold outside. Temperatures have fallen back into the upper 40s and the lower 50s as you walk outside tonight, and we're only going to continue to drop as the evening does go on. So it's clear, but it is definitely cold. Tomorrow, though, sunshine is going to return in the picture. We'll have high pressure leading the way. Temperatures will rise just a bit. A warming trend that will carry into Monday, but it stops there, because for the week ahead, we are going to be unseasonably cold with temperatures routinely falling back into the 30s overnight. And we're actually back in the 30s in Ocala and Palm Coast right now, two communities that are under frost advisories, as temperatures are likely to be just a hair above the freezing level in the mid and the low 30s overnight. Here in Orlando, you'll fall back to the 40s, and we have a lot of sunshine in the picture tomorrow, but still, with all the sunshine, we'll be below our seasonal average, and we're only getting colder as the work week progresses. We'll watch our next cold front swing by with a little bit of rain, but after its passage, that's when things take a turn for the worst. We're talking about wake-up temperatures in the 30s and 40s, frost advisories all across Central Florida, and I'll be taking a closer look at where we can expect those temperatures to drop even further and how long that temperature shift is going to stick around. Luana?
All right, thank you so much, Marquise. Well, with the temperatures set to drop this week, farmers here in Central Florida are getting ready for the big chill. WESH 2's Spencer Tracy was at the Winter Garden Farmers Market talking with farmers there about the potential impacts. A former Volusia County football coach was arrested in Kentucky, accused of shooting at officers there. Police say that Tombe Thomas from Osteen was staying at an Airbnb when he thought an intruder was in the home. Well, when police got there, they say that he locked himself inside the bathroom with a handgun, told police that someone was in the house who his girlfriend set up. Well, when police knocked on the bathroom window and announced themselves, they say that Thomas fired at the officers. Thomas later came out saying it was a warning shot and was arrested. He's now facing 2 counts of attempted murder. The Volusia County School District did confirm that he is employed as an instructor of the PASS program there. The district is opening an internal investigation on Thomas. Let's take you now to a live look at the Carter Presidential Center in Atlanta. That's where the late former President Jimmy Carter is now lying in repose tonight. Today marks the start of almost a week of funeral arrangements for the 39th president. Now, this all started this morning with a procession in Carter's hometown of Plains, Georgia. Andy Cole with our sister station in Plains is out there tonight as neighbors gather to say goodbye to Carter. Of course, we're going to continue following this story throughout the next several days, from the remembrance at the U.S. Capitol to the state funeral in Washington, D.C. next Thursday. You will be able to get updates both on air and online at WESH.com. In Lake County, County Road 42 is back open following a deadly crash. Florida Highway Patrol says a 26-year-old man in a Ford Mustang was speeding down County Road 42 near Lazy Lake Road just last night at around 7 when he tried to pass traffic in a no passing zone. Troopers say that he hit another car head on, killing both the driver and the passenger in that car. The 26-year-old was flown to the hospital with serious injuries. In Seminole County, state fire officials are investigating the cause of this house fire in Oviedo. Both county and city firefighters responded to this home on Orange Street. They saw smoke and flames once they arrived at the scene. The family made it out safely and several dogs were rescued. Fortunately, no one was hurt. New at 10, a special honor at the White House today. Several people, including former NBA star Magic Johnson, who you see right there, were awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. This is the highest civilian award that or given by the president, rather. 19 people in total received the award from President Joe Biden this year, including Bono, Hillary Clinton, Michael J. Fox, Ralph Lauren, Bill Nye, and Lionel Messi. Happening now, the tail end of the holiday travel period as people who took the whole week off finally make their way back home. This is a live look through our tower camera pointed at OIA or MCO Airport tonight. A total of 183,000 people were expected to pass through the airport today. The holiday rush period ends officially tomorrow. Now to a new multi-million-dollar fine for JetBlue over chronically delayed flights. As NBC's Emily Ikeda reports, it's the first time the Department of Transportation has ever fined an airline for delays. Well, tomorrow morning at 10 on WESH 2, a new episode of Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien. Here's Soledad with a preview. But first, the push to save animals stuck in a Polk County animal shelter. What needs to happen for the shelter to be considered no-kill when we return.
The Connors are here.
What? Hold on to your hat. Mazel tov!
Oh, this is truly a time to be thankful.
Come on over.
Why doesn't anybody ever call me and invite me over?
You don't need to be invited because you're always here.
And become part of the family.
If I'd saved anything, my daughter wouldn't be giving up her dreams at 17.
Hi, welcome to the Connor family.
The Connors.
Tonight at midnight on CW18. You're watching Central Florida's CW18.
All right, one of the biggest nonprofits in Central Florida is getting new leadership. Give Kids the World announced its current president and CEO, Pamela Landwith, is leaving the organization. Former Darden Restaurants executive Jordan Lomas will take her place. Give Kids the World helps critically ill children and their families on dream vacations here in Florida. Well, the new year comes with a new goal in Polk County. Animal advocates are pushing for a no-kill animal shelter. Stacy Da Silva with our Tampa NBC affiliate explains what has to happen in order to save these animals' lives. Once again, that was Stacy Da Silva reporting. SPCA Florida is open 7 days a week for adoptions. All animals are vaccinated, spayed and neutered, and receive dental care before going up for adoption. Try to adopt. I did, and I never looked back. It was the best decision I ever made. All right, speaking of pets, you may want to keep yours indoors and not too many long walks out there because it's going to get pretty cold.
The puppy paws will be freezing, Luana, as we step across the work week. You know, in summertime, we say when the temperatures start to heat up, we're stepping away from the frying pan and directly into the fire. I feel like for winter, when temperatures get this cold, we're stepping out of the fridge and directly into the freezer. And we have frost advisories posted for tonight, but even colder conditions, that's what lies ahead of us as we continue throughout the upcoming work week. Temperatures that'll fall below the freezing level, especially for our northernmost counties. Even here in Orlando, we haven't seen temperatures this cold in about 2 years. We'll drop down to 55-degree afternoon highs on Tuesday. Keep in mind the seasonal average is right around 72, so nearly 20 degrees below seasonal. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to have multiple consecutive days of temperatures below 60. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you're still in the mid and the upper 50s. Now, these aren't record-setting by themselves, but it's been 6-7 years since we had a stretch of temperatures in the 50s for at least 3 consecutive days. You have to go back to 2018 for that stretch. That was the beginning of January as well. Right now, though, temperatures are trending cool, much cooler than seasonal averages. We see a couple upper 30s and lower 40s across the board. 42 in Titusville, Melbourne, and Palm Bay. Upper 30s for Ocala and Palm Coast. And in those two respective counties, Flagler and Marion, that's where we'll see temperatures drop into the mid mid-30s tonight, so frost advisories have been posted. Here in Orlando, you still sit at 50 degrees on the dot with clear skies. You'll be dropping down to the mid and the lower 40s tonight. Lots of sunshine back in the picture tomorrow, courtesy of high pressure to our north. It's going to actually push towards the east in the afternoon, and we'll see a bit of a wind shift, warming temperatures into the lower 70s. We'll be back in the 70s Monday, but by Tuesday, this frontal boundary would have crossed us, and that's what's pulling in the Arctic air. So your wake up tomorrow does show a frosty start to the north and the west. 43 in Orlando. We'll be slowly warming up with some sunshine tomorrow. High temperatures on your attractions forecast do squeeze into the lower 70s in the afternoon, so you're just a touch below your seasonal average. You'll need your sunglasses tomorrow. And for the beginning of the morning on Monday, you see the winds coming in from the south, actually warming temperatures, but this cold front is going to come in, mix things up. You see that chance for rain in the afternoon, and we follow that with significantly cooler temperatures all the way throughout the rest of the work week. We're talking about lows in the 30s and the 40s. As we take you day by day, this is going to show what areas could become a little bit frosty. We mentioned Marion County, you're under the frost advisory to start off the day tomorrow, but on Monday, it's a much more widespread swath, and on Tuesday, forget it. This is all of Central Florida, touching every one of our counties, even the chance for below freezing temperatures across I-75 in north and western Marion County, and then we're back at it again on Thursday as well. So this is why we're going to carry the impact weather across Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to finish off your work week. 3 consecutive days in which here in Orlando, temperatures will be pulling into the 30s to start off the morning. So you want to make sure you have the winter attire ready, because we definitely have a very chilly work week that lies ahead of us.
We are Estrella TV Orlando.
Get ready!
From the most exciting competition and reality shows,
it lights up the room,
to international and local news.
Today marks 68 years of WESH 2 broadcasting across Central Florida.
Laughter, excitement, drama, and thrills.
It's now or never.
Get it all on Estrella TV Orlando, channel 18.3, Spectrum 464.
Get ready!
Weeknights starting at 11. TV's funniest couple and America's favorite family
Just the right amount of excruciatingly awkward.
have joined the club.
I wanted to shake things up.
Bob Hart's Abishola and the Connors, only on CW18. You're watching Central Florida's CW18.
Now, WESH 2 Sports on CW18. Sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
It all comes down to this. Hey, everybody, I'm Kristen Lago, and we have reached the final week in the NFL's regular season, meaning if you squint hard enough, you might be able to make out the playoffs right around the corner. There's only one spot in the NFC playoff picture left, and it comes down to the race for the NFC South. Will it be the Falcons or will it be the Bucs? Now, the shorthanded Magic have kind of a tough schedule left ahead. They will take on the Jazz and then head right back out on the road to take on the Knicks on Monday night. Luana?
All right, thank you, Kristen. Let's get a final look at that forecast with Marquise.
Well, we got a lot of twists, turns, and even some freezer burn in our 7-day forecast coming up. But even tonight, we'll see temperatures drop down close to the freezing level, especially across Marion and Flagler County. You'll find your way into the mid-30s tonight, waking up to patchy frost. So you might want to think about starting the car a little bit earlier. Then over the next 2 days, we'll see temperatures actually warm in the afternoon. We're back in the 70s Sunday and Monday, but we come shattering down all the way down to the mid-50s on Tuesday. Our next cold front that'll send us into a bit of a plunge, which is why we have impact weather days designated for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, with morning lows in the 30s.
And now at 10, a man, all right, and once again, we're going to talk about sunrise. It's going to start in the morning, early morning hours, of course. It all starts at 4:30 in the morning. That's going to do it for our newscast tonight. Have a wonderful and blessed evening, everyone. We'll see you at 11 p.m. on WESH 2.
Thank you for watching WESH 2 News. Get caught up on local news, originals, and more. Download the Very Local app and stream for free on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, iOS, and Android mobile devices.